Momma Braga, força do coração. Momma Braga. Dance under the sun, feel the earth below. Momma Braga, Momma Braga.
Melanie for Momma Braga Unfiltered. And today we have the Baby Spot. So the Baby Spot is the global pulse of modern parenting, a leading international magazine that celebrates real families, real stories, and real expertise. Since 2013, it's been the go-to destination for exclusive parenting content, from newborn tips to global trends, expert advice, and heartfelt lived experiences. Today on Momma Braga Unfiltered, we're spotlighting this trailblazing platform that amplifies diverse voices and empowers parents everywhere. Welcome to the Baby Spot, where every story matters and every parent belongs. Hello, Grace.
Oh, hi, Melanie. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure to have you. So that everybody knows, Grace is my best friend in the whole entire world, and one of Momma Braga's top fan, I guess, cheerleader since the very beginning. So it is so nice to have you.
It's been an honor supporting Momma Braga. You just gotta love everything that you're putting out and the message that is going all around the world. I mean, how could you not love Momma Braga?
Oh, thank you. See, women supporting women. We're uplifting each other.
Of course. Well, you're my best friend too.
Yeah, see? So let's get started so we can share your expertise with our wonderful followers. So the Baby Spot was founded to celebrate global diversity in parenting. Looking back, what parenting perspectives or cultural practices have surprised or inspired you the most since launching the magazine?
Oh, that's such a great question. Well, it's been going on for just under 13 years now. Such a blessing. But I guess what I found was so interesting when we started getting a global readership, and I'm talking every point around the world, was, and I have to say this is such a mantra for the business, is that we celebrate the similarities and embrace the differences in parenting practices worldwide. So I was so touched how similar we all are, despite culture, distance, um, politics, everything. We're all in for the same goal, which is to raise our children as well as we can, as best as we can, and be as involved as we can, and just spread joy and love to them. So it's touching to see that culture and distance has no boundaries. This is the message we're trying to get across. Like, we're just all trying to make it and give our kids the best life possible.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to survive, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a survival.
So that our followers have a better idea of your reach. Are you able to say like how many readers you see coming across your platform?
For sure. So we have about 250,000 readers a month. And then we have other things that are viewed on social media, but it's pretty steady 250, which is something that is such an honor to really just spread words, love, and joy to other people. We try to make the Baby Spot a safe space, so I think that's why it's so widely accepted. And even though it was supposed to originally be a Canadian magazine, it took off in the United States, in Britain. And then, our Canadian readers came back afterwards, which is so amazing. And then it went global. So I feel very lucky and humbled by it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So when you started the Baby Spot, you wanted to change the face of parenting media by addressing topics others avoided, such as miscarriage, bullying, mental health. Which taboo topics do you think still aren't getting enough attention today?
Oh goodness. Okay, so if you have a day, let's sit down and talk about it. So I find, just personally, I find that the mental health of parents is still widely overlooked. Fathers, mothers, and the struggles that they may have as individuals and as parents. I still believe that we need to talk about miscarriages. We need to talk about stillbirth, ectopic pregnancy, and anything in that wide range of challenges that parents are facing. It's very important to me, also having an ectopic pregnancy in 2015, that we let people know that number one, it's not your fault, you're not alone. And to always uplift the medical community to further research and do studies to help people get through this challenging time. We need more resources. And I'm so thankful that we put out as many resources and personal stories as we can, as people are so kind to share with us. But we need more. People feel so alone, and mental health is such an important thing. This can lead to depression for both mothers and fathers, and families who have lost a baby at any stage of a pregnancy. So I find it so important that we continue to talk about it. It's unfortunate and it happens. It's more common
Mhm.
than we think.
I love how you touched upon, you included dads, because a lot of time,
Yes.
many bloggers or influencers, which I don't like that term, as you know,
No, yes.
tend to forget about dad, and dad is so important. So I like that. Like, have you had dads personally reach out and say, here's, my perspective, here's my story on these taboo topics?
100%. So fathers, I find, and not speaking for all fathers, but just the fathers I've come in contact with, they want to protect their spouse from what has happened to them. They feel like they have had a tremendous loss as well, but they also have to support this grieving wife who's lost not only mentally the importance, like having a child, but also they feel it. It's their bodies releasing
Mhm.
loss. It's
Yeah.
so hard. So the father's involved emotionally, trying to keep things together, and he too is grieving. All around, just a terrible situation. And we need resources, and we need to talk about it so people know that they're truly not alone in this strenuous time. And if the family feels so, they need to honor it
Yeah.
if that's what they want to do.
Yes. Well, your platform inspired me to share my own miscarriage
Yes.
story. So, and you even published it on your site, which then got even more attention, and it got to be spread. And because I shared it, a few people, came to me personally, confidentially, to say, "Hey, it's happened to me. What can I do?" And then sometimes the dads would, this has happened to my wife. So the
Right.
taboo topics, even though they're taboo, it's important to talk about it because we do learn from each other's lived experiences. So
And I feel so true.
yeah,
I
so
feel that like shame is so important to address as well, because people feel shame about what has happened, and there's nothing to be ashamed about. But it is important that we continue to just provide resources and talk about it. Like when you talked about your experience, I mean, it does open up to so many people. We're so quiet about it as a society that when it happens, it's so shocking, and people are just shrouded in shame, and we don't have to live like that anymore.
yeah, exactly. I agree 110%. So the baby spot has grown into a worldwide community. And I
No.
think you've touched upon a little bit at the beginning. What do you think parents across cultures have most in common? And where do you see the biggest differences? I know you mentioned us wanting our children to have a good, fulfilling life. That's definitely something that throughout any culture has in common. Do you find anything else that different cultures have the same thing that's similar?
Well, so similarities, obviously, the love of a family and a family structure. And I think that, not only just with cultures, but the way families are structured. So I found with the Baby Spot back in 2013 that many other magazines weren't talking about different cultures and different family structures. Like maybe grandma leads the family, maybe there's a blended family. So it's so interesting how back then the media very much ignored these different types of structured families. So I said, you know what, let's take the 99% of families where they might not be upper middle class, they might not be structured in a traditional way, and let's make this together into something important. So when we're talking about different parts of the world, what I love similarly is everyone's bonded. Like love is the most strongest emotion. So it's love for these children. Biggest difference, I think, would be family structure and how family dynamics work. So we find, not always, but in North America, that families are together and like work very separately in separate units and get together on special occasions. But we'll find in other parts of the world, the entire family raises the child, the cousins, the aunts, the uncles, even close neighbors. So we find that. And that's a huge difference. And both work out, both work.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. So, talking about parents and the parenting world, this is going to be my favorite part. Trends, parenting trends. We hear it all the time. There's all these trends. So, what are you seeing as being a parenting trend in 2026? We're 3 months into the year. Is there anything that's already very popular in the parenting world?
Yes, so we're seeing parents, in this economy, right? So we're seeing
Mhm.
parents in this economy pull back and start looking. They're more interested in recipes, traditional recipes, going back to the family, going back to your roots, and finding recipes and traditions to expose your children to. So we're seeing parents touch base with their culture and bring that culture to their children. And sometimes the people who passed their cultural values onto them are no longer with them. So we see them reaching out to vloggers and bloggers, recipe websites, and people like yourself, Melanie, because you post a lot of traditional Portuguese recipes. So
Mhm.
this would be something that people in that community would say, hey, I remember this as a kid. I don't have the resources anymore. So they're leaning on internet community to provide that for them, which I think is so neat. So it's
It is.
going back to the roots of things.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because the Portuguese recipes I do have on Momma Braga are very popular all the time. I keep seeing it pop up over and over again. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Like people care. They want to know.
That's it.
So it's
Yeah,
great.
and they're delicious, of course, and everyone can enjoy them. But we'll see people who may want to reconnect with their culture, their religion, their faith. And we're seeing people come back to that, which has been a really interesting trend, I
Yeah.
find, in the last, I'd have to say it since COVID-19. So
Yeah.
it's continuing, even though we're out of that time.
Oh, see, that's great. There's also another trend that I've noticed too, where parents are going away from, being perfect all the time to
Yes, this is
being more like
huge.
good enough. So it's that acceptance in society that no, like being a parent, you don't need to be perfect. You need to just try your best because there's no such thing as perfect, no matter who said.
That's it.
So do you find that to be a growing trend as well?
I think it's the number one trend would be, in my humble opinion. We're seeing parents say to themselves, listen, we grew up in a society where they said you could do it all. And that's great. And that is still true to this day. You have the opportunity to do it all, but you don't have to do it all, because sometimes the pressure to be um just to perform in that way as a parent, what your children need is your presence. That is the present, right? Is your
Yeah.
absolute presence and interest in them, sharing stories, traditions, learning new things together. That is enough. So everything else is icing on a cake, but you don't have to push yourself to be this ultimate parent. And we saw that in a world in the 2010s where, I'm not crazy about the word influencers either, but influencers are the do it all. I'm on the PTA at school. I'm, making everything from scratch. All my kids are in the top sports, performing. Everyone's getting straight A's. It's okay. I think it's important for our children to see the humanity behind parenthood.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I love that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're too kind.
And I have to remember that myself because sometimes I feel like I need to do it all to be
Yeah.
all and then I have to like sit back and say, "Whoa, this is draining." Okay, I am not Superwoman. I'm not Wonder Woman. I am just a mom. So that's important to kind of like refocus.
Like you are a mom, and that's enough. And that is the beauty in it. Yeah, you are. And
Yes,
that's
but I'm
so
not
important.
just a mom. I
No, you
also have,
are
I'm
you
also,
are a mom.
Melanie.
You're Melanie. And for your children to see, like for children to see Melanie or to see their parent as a person who
Yeah.
makes mistakes, who has their limits, it gives them permission to embrace their own humanity too, where it's say, like, for example, hey, I'm having a bad day at school, or I got to keep up with mom.
Mhm.
She's always very happy and a go-getter. And it's
Mhm.
okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have feelings. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You don't
exactly.
have to be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Another trend that I've been noticing too uh, is everyone craving the nostalgia. So there's a
Yes.
lot of like, I can't blame anybody, like the 90s, right? It's like it's coming
So
back.
fun.
But I think it happens every once in a while, right? Where they kind of go back. Like if we're in the 80s, maybe they're going back to the 60s and or the 90s, and then they're looking back at. I find that that happens often, but I find that right now the trend is 90s.
Okay, I love this. I mean, first of all, if you were and I were to invent a time machine, how many people would come in it with us to go back to the 90s, right?
Nikki would, and she's 11. She would
And
be
she's
the
11.
first. She would be the first one there. She's like, oh, 90s, I'm there.
I'm there. And you know what I think it is? It's just my opinion. There's no fact behind it, but I think streaming platforms like Netflix and Paramount, they are showing the shows that we grew up with. They're showing the movies that we grew up with. So today's generation is the first generation that could actually really access so much information about previous generations. And they're, of course, loving everything in the present, but they're also watching Full House, or they're
Yeah,
also, tuning in to the shows that we grew up with. So they have this really unique experience with past and present, with what was traditionally 90s, but also what's going on today. And they're seeing the influences of the 90s and previous decades in their music, in their fashion, in their culture. So I think that the platform letting them have this choice and them giving it a try it's actually formulating a part of their childhood too, that some of our 90s
yeah.
traditions are now a part of the 2020s as
Yeah,
well.
which I love it. I'm not gonna knock it. I think this is like one of my favorite trends, so I'm all up for it. Like when you go to the store and you see like flare jeans, it's like, oh my God,
It's
it's back.
back. That's it. Welcome back. I've
Oh,
seen some of the things that we had in the 90s being sold online for hundreds of dollars. Like they
oh my
love some
gosh.
of the trendy fashions that we
Yeah,
once had. So who could imagine we would be sitting on a gold mine if we kept
I
everything
know.
from that time?
We've gone thrifting, which is something that Nikki now enjoys doing, thrifting at.
Yes.
And sometimes you go through the racks of the fashion. I'm like, oh my God, I remember wearing something like that in like 1995. And I'm like, it's here.
That's it.
It's like $2.
And sometimes it's on the new racks too, Melanie. You're walking there and you're walking into a store and you're saying, like you said, oh my gosh, flared jeans. I
Oh,
mean,
I love
wh-
flare jeans.
but you know, if you're a northern girl, you grew up where there's winter, you're going to see the salt like line around the
Oh
bottom of your
God,
flared
yes.
jeans. Everybody who grows up where there's snow knows what we're talking about. On a winter day, you know, it gets on your pants. So the children of today are also experiencing 90s challenges as much as
I
they
know.
are. They're experiencing our like pain from winter walking in
Yeah.
flare jeans.
Or if you're like Nikki, you just hibernate for the winter and say that I'm not going.
Yes, hibernate. I could get behind that trend.
I know, me too. So another, I think one really change, like for me, it's hard, this trend, but the technology,
Yes.
it's something that we, like, I wasn't raised on tech, and to now, I mean, I find there's more tech now in parenting and in raising kids, and there's AI everywhere. We need to touch upon that. That's a
Huge.
rising trend. Where do we draw the line? Because like this,
Oh
I get
goodness.
so every time I think of AI, I think of the Terminator movie. It's so bad.
That's
But
a smart
like,
precedent.
I see it just escalating. I don't see it ever like de-escalating. Like, should parents be more aware? Like, I don't know, what do you see?
Well, it's very interesting. That would be the next trend I'm talking about. I find that parents in the toy industry are choosing more traditional toys. So, what we're seeing with
Okay.
some of the pecky toys, the ones that make the sounds and the bright lights and the music, they last only they are just used for a few years, and we're seeing them in secondhand stores. So in the future, I could see people going back to more traditional based toys where they're not making noises. Also, there's a big challenge with noise regulation on these toys. Some of them only have one setting and it's loud. And so parents, we find, are asking specifically not for those toys. I've been to a few baby showers and birthday parties where there's a specific ask if you are buying a present for this little one, can it not be a based toy? So I think parents want more control over how bright the lights are, how loud the system is. And we're seeing children just go back to the basics. So where it's a toy that doesn't have to interact with you, where imagination is so important and at the forefront right now. Your
Mm-hmm.
children developing their imagination.
Oh, see, that's great. And that reminds me of the
Mhm.
Toy Story movie that's coming up. Have you seen the trailer for it?
No, tell me about it.
Oh, so they introduce tech. So she has like a pad, and the toys are being forgotten. I don't know what happens
Oh,
after that, but I guess their mission is to get the child to kind of like use their imagination again, and the power of play. So I thought that was really interesting, especially since I see, tech as such a trend every year, and it keeps growing and growing. So
right.
that's interesting that Toy Story is doing that. And I love that you see that the trend, people are going back to
Yes.
the original toys, and having that imagination play. Like Nikki, for example, loves to play still with her toys and use her
Right.
imagination. And I think it's so important, even at her age, because there's so much you can do playing a video game, or, those interactive online games, I think.
Right. You're in somebody else's imagination or a corporation's imagination, and
Yeah.
you have your limits within that imagination on what you can do. But when you're sticking to more traditional based toys, it's up to the child. It's, STEM friendly, it's STEAM friendly, I should say. So
Mhm.
we're hitting all those important spots. I think it would be neat to see a blend of both, where one, like the tech toys don't empower or they don't have power over traditional toys. And also like traditional toys that are very safely made become a keepsake to people.
Yeah.
And they become a statement of a generation. Like, what were the toys in the 90s that were a statement of our generation? I mean, I guess for girls, Barbie or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And we find those worlds are still loved today and remade for the next generation. So it would be neat to see something that is timeless to define the
Mhm.
2020s. And tech toys are great. So, you know, they have some great learning tech toys that are fantastic. But again, we want children to use their toys to move their bodies, explore, and open their minds to create their own worlds, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So, to all the toy
Yeah.
companies who will be listening, you heard the experts here. We're
Oh,
telling
you're so
you what
sweet.
we want, right?
This is it.
Love that. So, if you could predict one major parenting shift we'll see in the
Yes.
next decade, what would it be and why?
Oh, goodness. Okay. So there's so much parenting shift. Well, I think um there's, you know, I have more than one, so I
No problem.
apologize.
No, it's
So,
okay. This is great. We're sharing your expertise.
oh, you're so kind. So I think that one of the things we're going to see is allowing children their accountability back. So what do I mean by that? With a lot of the movements, we're allowing children now, I find, to explore, to play, to make mistakes, to be responsible for those mistakes and move forward. And to do so, what we have to do as parents is learn how to move forward ourselves. So mental health is always going to be at the top of the parenting trends over the next 5 years. We're going to see parents really doing the work on themselves to be able to understand their children. And the message is profound but simple. And I always relate it back to Mr. Rogers, where Mr. Rogers had told his audience, I think on a talk show a long time ago, he had said that when you are parenting your child, think about yourself at that age. And to me, humbly, that's the best advice. What were
Mhm.
you like at 5 years old, 7 years old, 10 years old, going through similar, not the same, but similar situations? How did you feel and how did you handle it? These are your children. So they're a mix of you and your partner's genetics. And
Mhm.
they're going to approach situations generally similarly. They might have the same social anxiety one may have, like a parent may have. They may have similar challenges, or the way they view the world is very much the same. So we parent them with love and respect for all. And we also remember what it was like when we were children. So I think there's going to be a lot of more mental health conversations, inner work, and just learning to love ourselves better. So when we love ourselves, we're giving our children that ultimate gift. We're giving them permission to love themselves too.
Yeah, I love that. That
Mhm.
is so true. So, so true.
That's it.
Because they look up to us, right? So if we don't
They
love
do.
ourselves, they're gonna see that, and then
They will.
they're gonna put themselves down, and then
They are, because
learning from us.
you're exactly. They're like a mirror of us. So, you know, you may see a parent who has, say, social anxiety, and then that child has social anxiety or gets triggered by similar things. And so when the parent approaches the child, they're like, no, don't be anxious. But remember, you're anxious. And this is
Mhm.
just hypothetical. So how have you overcome your anxiousness? Or have you? Can you do the work together as parent and child, and work
Yeah.
together through social anxiety and put yourself in situations or talk about it where this is something that can be worked through or overcome? So this is just like, again, a hypothetical situation of how to approach parenting, where we're admitting we're not perfect. We have our own challenges and our fears, but we're willing to work through it together as a family unit. And I think as families, we can be stronger.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Look at that. See? Is there any more that you wanted to add to that one? Because you said there was a few.
I'd love to touch base on health for families. What I would love to see for maternal and paternal health, I think parenting changes, is we're asking the professional communities, the medical communities, to provide more access to information, to studies, especially of maternal health, that a lot of things get overlooked and misdiagnosed. And I would love to see that get expanded. I'd love to see more rights for those who are on maternity and paternity and or parental leave. And so people can be able to take care of their babies the way that they need to be take cared for, if that's the choice of the family.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Is there another one? Was there another one on the parenting shift?
Like parenting specifically, I think it's a lot about, like we were talking about mental health, and I think it's a lot about family and family structure. So I see a shift. People, not all, but we're seeing a strong minority of people have challenges not being able to fit into this traditional family mold. Some people don't have access to their grandparents, their aunts and uncles. They live abroad, they live across country. And so it's about finding community. Parents are looking for their families to be in a safe community and establishing that. And that's not going to look the same for any of us. Some of us have traditional families where we have grandparents on both sides who can help out, aunts and uncles that are involved, and we're involved with their children's lives. And others have nobody. And so we as a society have to make space for all different types of family communities that are functioning. There are some people who have absolutely no help whatsoever. And we have to be kind to those families, just as we are kind to those who have everybody as a support system. Everybody's support system looks differently. So I see parental shifts being more kind to those who do not have those resources.
So lending an extra hand, especially if we know
If
they're alone.
that's it. And also, like, even just inviting over for a barbecue or a dinner, just being able to include those families is so important. But also, if we can't do that, just recognizing that our support system may be different than someone else's support system, and not giving them a hard time, and honoring that they don't have the resources or that other people would have. So I think that's really an important conversation, is what does each community look like, that they're all not the same. And as a society, we're accepting that instead of questioning why this person, this family isn't fitting into that mold.
Yeah, I think that's a very important shift that needs to happen for sure.
Yeah. And I think it is happening, Melanie. I think it's people are becoming more aware that different things, let's acknowledge differences, and let's celebrate the differences, and we don't have to be afraid of them. Just different families look different, every family looks differently, and that's okay. That's not something to fear.
Yeah. I feel like being open-minded seems to be like an ongoing theme that I come across with everyone. It just seems like it's still not happening. Everyone's so closed-minded, and they're just not willing to see beyond what they know. But hopefully,
And what they know works.
Yeah, hopefully with more conversations and people start opening up and talking more, then they know, it's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Exactly. There's more than one right answer. I think that's, if I could suggest a parenting trend that should happen, there's not one right answer. There's a right answer for your family, but that might not be the right answer for another family. It's so important to know.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Yeah. And that's celebrating difference.
Yeah, exactly. So what emerging global issues do you think will most shape the next generation of parents?
Wow. And it's such troubled times right now. So it's such a loaded question. So what can we see? Parents have a decision to make. We either establish our communities today, so our children grow up in structured communities tomorrow, or we don't, and we watch our children suffer those consequences. I think that what we were talking about earlier, where we were talking about how parents can do it all, I find personally that can be dangerous when we put the pressure to be perfect all the time on someone. It does wear on your body as you get older. Even if you are a superstar parent, it starts to wear on you as you age. You start to see physical symptoms from mental health challenges over the
Mm-hmm.
years as you get older. What can we do to stop this? It's okay to ask for help. It's okay
Mm-hmm.
to say, hey, I do want to be, maybe make that move closer to a very accepting and helpful family. It's about making hard choices as parents for our children to keep them safe. So I could see parenting trends about establishing safe and respectable communities, and that's going to look differently for everyone. And I think that's so important in the times to come, that we create a togetherness and awareness
Yeah.
for the next generation. So the decision is with us. What do we want to do? And each family, no matter what that looks like, makes that decision for the next generation. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Perfect sense.
Mm.
Perfect sense. Where we're just trying to, I guess, inspire others to start the conversation, I guess, within their own household. So,
That's it. And it can look differently. It's different for everybody, and that's fine.
every parent is different, just like every single child is different, and no two children in the same family are the same.
How boring would it be if we were all the same and parented the same way and thought the same things? How boring.
Right? It
So
would be boring. I would be falling asleep every day.
that's it.
What kind of stories do you wish more parents would share publicly but rarely do? I think we touched a bit about this with the taboo topics, but are there any other stories you wish people would share more publicly?
Personal opinion, what I would love to see is people honoring those who've had C-sections. I cannot
Mhm.
believe how people with those who have had C-sections, the backlash they get for that is so bizarre to me.
Sense to me.
And
I
you
know.
might say, if you haven't had a C-section, I have not personally, but those who have, I mean, they've had major surgery, and
Hmm.
we have to give them grace and time to heal. So
Yeah.
I would love to see more C-section healing stories and giving those people grace, the same way we give others who have had similar major surgeries.
Yeah, I agree.
To expect, and they do, these people are incredible. They jump up and they parent, and I mean, I admire it so much. But at the same time, if they can't, I find people give them a hard time, and that needs to stop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
they're
would be
put
one
to
thing.
shame. Yeah, they put to shame. It's like, oh no, you know, you had the a lot. I've heard they comments where people are like, oh, you've had the easy way out, and it's like, well, no, that's not easy. That's surgery. Like that's major surgery. Are you crazy?
That
That's
is
not easy.
major
That's not the easy
surgery.
way out.
That's it. Oh, that really grinds my gears when people say the easy way out.
Yeah,
My goodness, it's major surgery. It's
yeah,
life-saving. There's reasons why people have C-sections, which are their reasons. So
yeah.
for me, I would love to see empowering, and I'm going to make a conscious effort to continue to empower people in that community who've had C-sections. So I'm going to definitely step up our game and do our part for that. And that's what I would love to see. And again, I mean, I hate to circle back again, but mental health for parents, I think, is important.
Hmm.
Physical health, you know what's exciting? We would all die for our children. We
Hmm.
would sacrifice everything for them. But Melanie, will we live for our children? Will we give
That's
ourselves 20
powerful.
minutes a day to do the exercise we need, the strength training, going on family walks? Will we live for them? Will we make the right choices in what they and we eat? Will we be ready and conscious? Will we keep our bodies healthy for them?
Hmm.
And take the time, whether you need to take it for yourself to go to a gym or your home gym, or just to take, some exercise class on YouTube, or will we incorporate them in healthy living, which I think is great, walks, hikes, playing basketball. I'd love to see more families bring it back, play sports, go out, explore, even shopping. My goodness, you can get your 10,000 steps shopping. Like, just
Oh
be
my
together
gosh.
and do
Yeah.
something.
We just did that Friday and I was so tired by the time I got home. I'm like, oh, I feel like that was a workout and a half. And then I'm like,
Right.
because I'm going through my own health journey with my liver. Even though I did all that walking, I'm like, okay, I still need to do my strength training. Okay, I gotta do it. I'm not just doing this for myself. I'm doing it so that I can see my daughter continue to grow and
Right.
and see what she's going to do to change the world because I have high hopes
That's
for her.
right.
So yeah.
Yes, and she'll do so amazing. And I think people should follow your health journey because there are so many questions about liver health, and there's a lot of fear around it. Can I
Hmm.
reverse this challenge that I have? And
Hmm.
you outline that in your story very honestly. And
Yeah.
as a parent, as somebody who works, as someone who's also running Momma Braga and this podcast, you reversed it. You've done
Hmm.
incredible with your health. So that
Yeah.
story is, and people are so filled with shame when they hear things. So this is a way they can just pop on to your website, listen to your podcasts, or
Yeah.
just type it and just see what you're doing on social media every
Yeah.
day and be inspired. So they have to do that. I think that's a parenting trend. Go to your site and
Yeah.
watch that
Thank you.
health journey.
There you go. Mama Braga plug-in right there.
That's it. Oh yeah, not so subtle plug-in, but I did
Yeah,
it.
it's
And I
okay.
mean it from my heart too. It's so important. It's so inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you. So, not talking about Mama Braga, but has there been one, or there are probably many, but is there one inspiring story over the years that has really moved you? Maybe
Yeah.
someone you interviewed or a story that you shared. Is there one that stands out? I'm sure there's lots, but is there one in particular?
Oh dear, it's so hard to choose. Like I feel so honored when people tell a story to you. They trust you to tell, especially if you're writing an interview, you're being trusted to tell their story in words. Something like a podcast, you're interviewing someone about their life. It's so important. Every particular stories, I think, was we were covering miscarriage and ectopic pregnancy during an awareness month. And it was so touching to see all those people reach out. There were people who thought that they caused a miscarriage. There are people who were blamed for miscarriages by family members. There were people who were overlooked. And to hear them say, this is such a safe space for me to know that it wasn't my fault. Those stories, I mean, my goodness, I can't even say what a blessing to just be to tell that story.
Yeah. And
It's a
and I
good
and
feeling.
I love that you have that impact that
Mhm.
people feel confident enough to even message you or get in touch with you and say, "Wow, thank you. This helped me with this." And I think that's the power of words.
Right.
Um is it
It's
empowering
always nice.
empowering others? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's also like connecting the medical community. Like we work with a lot of medical experts around the world, and being able to connect them with the people they're trying to reach and say, listen, these are the fears. These are legitimate fears or concerns about any health topic. And
Mhm.
sometimes you see the medical community say, oh, I didn't know this was even an issue. So it's
Yeah.
nice to be that bridge and let it happen. So that's one thing. But if I could also say another side of the magazine altogether, and it's one of my personal favorite audience, like pockets, is the entrepreneurs, the mom and dadpreneurs starting
Oh,
these
that's nice.
businesses. And
Mhm.
we've interviewed them quite early on in the game. We love to discover new businesses and then we always keep in touch too. So
Yeah.
to peek in 5 to 10 years later and see, small businesses like clothing companies make it into major, uh, like clothing empires, or they sell the business 10 years later. They're doing great. Like their family, they were able to leave their full-time job and do what they love full time. My
Mhm.
gosh. What just to be a spectator of that, to interview them early on and see how much they've grown has been one of my life's joys with
Oh, that's so
humanity, is just
wonderful.
watching people make something. And there's, oh my goodness, I have to say, must be about 100 stories like that over the years.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
That is really cool. Or people who write books and they've written this beautiful nonfiction or fiction book, and to see them just thrive and get into these new communities. So watching them be themselves
Yeah.
as a parent, and their children get to watch that growth. That's
Hmm.
amazing.
It's very amazing. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's so nice.
Oh, thank you.
So where do you see the baby spot going in like 5 years from now? I know that that's like the most like common like job interview question ever, but I think it's an important one. Like, do you still see the baby spot 5 years down the road? Um, I don't think it will go anywhere because your numbers say it all. You are very
Oh,
popular, and it's a great platform for parents to connect on. Um, but do you see it expanding or growing in 5 years? Like, what can you share? Maybe your five, not your whole 5 year plan,
oh
but
wow. Yes, I can, but I can't be held to it, because the thing is about being an online magazine is you're always, I feel like it's a dance. I'm always pivoting. With the introduction to AI, that became really popular in 2023 in our industry, not the parenting world, but more so the magazine world.
Mhm.
So there are new laws, rules, and regulations being built all the time. There's new opportunities. So I find that in that world, we're going to continue to expand. I'd love to see a store for us where we're representing the best products. And I could be really particular about what we promote to parents. We want to only promote the best. And it's not that parents don't have enough information on a product or something they need. There's too much information, Melanie. So
Yes.
sometimes we like to narrow it down to what's safest, what is not economically challenging, what's not going to put you in the poorhouse to buy, what's important and what's going to
Mhm.
last. So I could see us having a store. I could see us being in multiple languages, which I would love to do. Spanish, French, Arabic, Mandarin. It's important to
Yeah.
continue to reach audiences. And I would love to expand our travel section. We love to make sure that parents and families are not afraid to travel with their children. I've traveled with very young children. Uh, there are safe places in the world that love and embrace your children. So I could see a lot of things happening. And as the internet changes, we're going to see the internet change a lot in the next 5 years. We're going to always pivot to reflect that,
Oh,
to be
that's
found
great.
in your search engine, but also, in with our email community, making sure that we're just providing the best information. That's all we do. Information, safe space. That's
Yeah.
always going to be my goal, whether it's 2100 or it's 2026. Information, safe space for families.
Yeah, and that's wonderful. It's a great goal or I guess plan to do.
I hope so.
We
Yeah.
can be here like forever, but I do respect your time, especially since
Oh,
you are also a busy mom. But before we sign off, I am going to do my rapid questions that
oh gosh. Okay.
they're fun. They're fun. So it's not serious. We can't always be serious because then it wouldn't be me if it was always serious.
Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. I'm ready. I
Okay.
think I can do
I
it.
know you can. You're my best friend. You have to. Okay, now it feels more pressure. But number one, what's one baby product you swear by that no one expects?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be grossed out. But like the
It's okay.
the snot sucker thing.
Oh, is this
I'm so sorry. I
flavor?
apologize to parents. You want something more profound from me. You want something that's really going to spark your interest. But when babies are sick, it's terrifying, especially
Yeah.
if you're a first time parent. But those things, oh my goodness, to clear it up, it's gross. I know, but it's integral. Have it in your house. Don't wonder why whoever buys that for you at a baby shower, they're thinking about you. They're thinking about you in your worst time when your child is as sick as can
See?
be and it's midnight and you say to yourself, my child has the sniffles, they're clogged up, do I bring them to the hospital, what do I do? You get that snot sucker. You get that thing
See,
out.
that's great. You know what? It might sound gross, but I would have never expected that. And you know what? If anyone's gonna have a baby, guess what? I am buying that for your baby shower. Now watch, no one's gonna.
That would be, yeah, that's like a parent who cares about you in your worst of moments, you
Yeah,
know? The second thing I would say, not so gross, is enjoy buying a stroller. Do not be afraid. Take your baby out. Go out and explore this big, beautiful world and wear that stroller to the ground. Walk, 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 walk. And even though your baby won't have memories of you walking by the lake or taking a stroller hike, they're going to have the feeling that they're going to grow up with of curiosity, adventure, exploration. And it also makes you feel like a human being when you're getting out into that world again. So
yeah,
don't be afraid,
yeah,
get out there.
yeah. That's wonderful. Number two, if you could
Ultimate.
describe parenthood in one unexpected word, what would it be?
Oh boy. It's a blessing. And I don't mean to be sappy.
It's
What a
okay.
blessing it is. It humbles you to the ground sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to find patience you never knew could exist from your being to come out. And then they do something so simple, and you get to be there to watch their first steps, their first words, their first opinions about things. They become their own
Mm-hmm.
little person. They have their own thoughts and opinions, individual from your own. Like, what a blessing. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Like, just to be witness to it.
yeah. That's great. And number three, what's the cutest story a reader has ever shared with you?
Cute, like, oh
Yeah.
goodness. For a while, we used to host like cute baby of the week.
Oh, yes, I
So
remember that.
you and Nikki, I think, was our
I
cute
think
baby
so.
of the
I
week
think
at
so.
one.
Yeah. I was like so excited. I'm like, oh, Nikki, you're so famous.
That's it. So seeing some of the babies, they'll send you videos. We got to do cute baby of the week again. That is so cute. You know,
Bring
maybe
cute.
just post it on our social media.
Yeah.
So see, people would send videos of their cute baby of the week
Oh, wow.
interacting with online of their
Yeah.
cute baby of the week. And it's, you see the baby like touch the picture of themselves on the monitor. And then
Oh my
that's
God.
but then
That's
they're
so
too young
cute.
to talk. That is the cutest. So
Yeah.
cute.
Oh, see, I'm glad I brought it up. We're bringing back cute baby back.
That's it. Oh, I should bring back cute baby. We'll see what the audience says if they want to have their cute babies posted on our social media.
Yes, once this is live, comment and let us know if you want to see the cute baby again. Number
Yes.
four, coffee, tea, or pure adrenaline. Adrenaline. Oh my goodness.
Adrenaline.
Thank
Yes.
you. See, that's how you know English was never my first language.
Oh,
What
you're so sweet.
fuels your editing days? Because it's not just post and, ooh, it looks so pretty. You do a lot of editing.
There's so much involved. So I'm going to be boring here. It's adrenaline for me. I don't drink coffee. I never did. Not that I have anything against it. I think it's a godsend for everyone, but I never had it until
We'll
I was
see.
about 21, and a family member said, Grace, if you haven't had it, you might as well not start. And I didn't. So adrenaline is, and that's a boring answer. I wish I could recommend like a
It's
great
not boring. That's inspiring. I
coffee
wish
and
I had that.
recommend a brand for somebody. But for me, it's adrenaline. There's a lot that goes into every article. It is not just write it up, quick edit, and post. There's a lot of search engine optimization. There's a lot of research. What does our audience want? What could a potential audience want? What do you need so we can find the facts, the figures, and get you that information safely? So,
Mhm.
I mean, one post is sometimes, and Melanie, I'm sure you could attest to this, weeks of work to get
Mhm.
something out,
Yeah.
weeks of work. And we have some great personal interviews coming up soon, and the back and forth with it. Again, it's weeks of work, and I'm just thankful that we're not in print, so we can publish a little faster. But still, it's no walk in the park.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
yeah,
very hard. It's not as easy as people might think it is.
yeah. So adrenaline, you have to be passionate about what you're doing when you're an entrepreneur. You have to love what you're doing. and you can't get sick of it because it's going to be there every day. So I love the audience is my fuel. Got to get this information out there. Something like a holiday is coming up, they're going to need this information for a holiday. They're going to need something as simple as this recipe all the way to one of our more important posts. So something that has to do with, say, mental health. We got to get that out safely, effectively with the facts. So important.
Yeah, that's great. And the last one, number 5. What's the trend, since it's like our common theme today, in parenting you hope never goes out of style?
That's so good. Oh, goodness. Okay, rapid fire. So really quick, I think it's to be kind to yourself and to always remember what it was like when you were the age of a child when there's a challenge. And once we
we're
analyze,
going back to Mr. Rogers, right? Was it Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Was it?
Yes, Mr. Rogers.
Yes, okay.
Yes, go
Let's
back to
remember
that
him.
time.
Yeah.
He's so, gentle and kind, but I mean, to the point, like, remember what it was like to be that time. Also, remember how you felt at that time. I remember what the big issue in my house right now is speeches, like giving public speeches. So I remember when I was young, we would annually in school have to give a speech on a topic of your choice, 3 to 5 minutes long, and you're getting up in front of your peers and giving the speech on a topic you're passionate about. And you have to communicate that to both your peers, but also your teacher. So to learn those skill sets, it's terrifying for me anyways. Public speaking,
me too.
I try to act calm and cool. I hope that's how I come across. Probably not. But before, I'm dying on the inside.
Well, you're doing great here.
Oh, thank you. I was definitely nervous. So and it never goes away. So my advice would be, hey, it hasn't gone away for me. It might go away for you, but let's learn how to manage it effectively and calmly. So to get through it and to enjoy these experiences with less to have. So
perfect. Well, thank you so much, Grace.
You're welcome.
I will be sharing how people can connect with you at the end of the video. But thank you. We'll probably do like a part 2, season 2.
Oh, what an honor to have me. That's of course. I'll be there if you want me. It's of course.
Definitely. Perfect. So I am Melanie, and this is great. See you next time.
Thanks for listening. Until next time, this is Momma Braga wishing you courage to tell your story and joy in every chapter.